like blood upon the snow. A tourniquet of topaz glistened at her throat. Also, what an elegant way of saying she was wearing a nice necklace. Like, a tourniquet of topaz glistened at her throat. The imagery is
Chef's kiss.
chef's kiss. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Arsenic and Espresso. I'm Alice Arsenic. This is my co-host Josh, and this is a podcast where we talk about metal music. And tonight is night 2 of our Cradle of Filth week.
If you guys haven't seen day 1 of these reactions, definitely go check it out. Link will be in the description below. That video, or rather because it was a lyric video, but the song itself was amazing. The lyrics were incredible. So I'm just hoping for more incredible music and incredible lyrics. So
I think it's all like super epic. So each one just seems to be a little bit more epic than the last.
Definitely. And this one has been, this song is called, what is this one called? This one's called
Cruelty Brought the Orchids.
Yes. And this one has been hyped up, I think, more than any of the other ones in our comment section. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Me too.
And of course, we're going to be reacting to a handful more of these all week long. So if you like Cradle of Filth and you think that we're okay people, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. And let's just jump into it.
All right.
Let's jump into it. Okay. We found a lyric video because if you watched the last one, you would know that I need to read along to the lyrics to really understand these things too. So,
which is funny you say that though, because I honestly feel like you can hear words more clearly, and like when we just have like a general listen through, you'll be like, "Oh, I really liked what he just said," and I'm like, "I literally have no idea what he just said."
That's funny.
Like even if it's super clear singing, like my brain doesn't like compute the words.
Yeah.
And you
hear it as part of the music.
I literally hear it as part of the music, and it's not until I read the lyrics that I'm like, oh, that's what they said.
But that's also why we do the lyric breakdowns at the end of every video.
Yes.
So that you can just focus on the music first, and then you can go back and really focus on the lyrics. So,
yes.
Yep. All right.
So without further ado,
get into the video.
Should be treasured if they bring thee pleasure somehow.
That scream.
Not to stop it right off the bat, but to stop it right off the bat. Like his lung capacity is out of this world. I feel like certain sounds and certain notes are really hard, no matter how skilled of a singer you are, to like maintain that same strength all the way through the end of the note. And the fact that he hits those like super high pitched banshee screams and holds them for
that's pretty cool.
So long with the same amount of power at the very end as he started with.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
It doesn't get old, that's for sure. I love it. All right.
I feel like the drums we're hearing right now have been used by lots of other bands.
This is my favorite song by them so far. Like, this might go on my playlist for sure. I'm sorry for pausing, but that's what
I know
we do.
so many times in like 10 seconds.
Yeah. If you just want to listen to the song, go listen to the song on its own. But holy cow, yeah, I like this a lot. Yeah, this has a little bit more of like a thrash sound.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if this is about, I think it has to be about Elizabeth Bathory. She was
Okay.
a woman in, God, like hold on, I'm not going to trust my memory. She was a countess, a Hungarian noblewoman.
Okay.
In the late 1500s. And she's believed to be the first, like, female serial killer.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
It's rumored that there were over 300 girls in her village who went missing after they were like hired to work for her.
Yeah.
And there's diary entries from like some of her servants who talk about that she would slaughter these young girls and bathe in their blood because she believed it would keep her young.
Wow. So
Yeah.
that's the originator for all those other
Yes.
like fables and okay.
Yes.
That's
But
crazy.
like she was a real person.
Yeah.
And there are actual rumors that actual documentations of missing girls.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe she was okay. I thought so. So they December 1610, she was arrested after like they were like it was believed that she was kidnapping girls and murdering them. So she was arrested. Her servants who were arrested with her were tortured and burned at the stake. She was never put on trial, but she was walled in a castle where she died on August 21st, 1614.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's really neat.
Yeah, this is 1000% about Elizabeth Bathory.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
there's no way it's not.
I'm down.
If it's not, that's shocking.
Unfortunate. All right. Yeah.
I love that synthesizer coming up in the back. colorful.
All right, so I'm thinking I'm understanding a little bit more about like his flow, how he likes to like screech, or how he likes to end the like paragraph on the screech, but then going back and forth between the deep gutturals and the screaming. I don't know. It's starting to grow on me a little bit more. So I like this one. Hold that thought.
The biggest smile on my face till she came up on the screen. That ending, that deepest growl. I mean, animalistic.
Yeah.
Like, not even human. That was followed by his like shrill screech.
Yeah. It's hard to believe that it's the same person doing all of it.
Is it? Are we sure? Do we know in this song, is there another vocalist?
There might be. But I was going to say too, I really enjoy their use of alternative vocalists. I feel like in all of the songs we've listened to, there's been some sort of sampling of somebody else's
other
vocals.
singers.
Yeah. And they utilize it really well.
Like, I want to know exactly who did what on each song. So if you wouldn't mind, down below, you're a Cradle of Filth fanatic and you have the answer to this. Are there more than one vocalist on this particular song? Or is it just Danny Filth? Like, what are we dealing with here? Because it feels like
there's got to be somebody else, right? There's got to be something layered in. Like,
I don't know. Let us know down below. This song was spectacular. And when we watched the video for Ghost in the Fog, or for her Ghost in the Fog, my bad, you mentioned that it seemed almost like a film, like the intro to a movie.
Yeah.
And this has that same, like, it has the same kind of energy that it almost belongs in like a musical.
Yeah.
In the sense of like it should be a part of an opera.
Yeah.
And like a whole story.
Yeah. I definitely agree. And I would say, but like it tells the whole epic, the whole scene. And that's something that I would have like a counterpoint to, because I feel like Nightwish is very similar. They have that operatic like as if it's in between scenes or things
Mm-hmm.
like that. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like there's a complete scene in each one of
Mm-hmm.
these songs that we've reacted to so far, and I feel like Nightwish kind of um they tend to drop the ball on that, in my opinion. I
Mm.
feel like they don't complete the scene. Like each song that I hear from Nightwish is always wanting, like, I
There's
keep
something that
feeling like
it's
there's,
missing.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, like there's no closure to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, with Cradle of Filth, their songs are a little bit longer so that they can get that whole complete thought in. I don't know if they have songs that are not like a full blown epic in
Mm-hmm.
each one, but for me anyways, I feel like that's the only like critique that I have on it, is just I feel like these songs are a little bit long. Um but I mean, that's just for my own.
I forget that you don't like long songs.
Yeah.
Like 5 to 7 minutes is my ideal song length. And I think I've
Yeah.
said that before. I think I've said it a whole bunch of times, but five to
Yeah.
7 minutes is ideal. I feel like any song less than 5 minutes, I feel like they cut something out.
Fair.
And I'm always like, I think there was another verse and chorus and
Yeah.
maybe something else that's missing. Like, but this particular song, it just, I loved this
Yeah.
one. This was
Yeah,
magnificent.
this was really good.
And was I right? Also, if you are a Cradle of Filth fanatic, was I correct in that this is about Elizabeth Bathory? Because it can't not be about her. Like, it has to be. Has to.
Makes sense to me.
Okay.
All right.
Are we ready
Lyrics?
for these lyrics? I
Yes.
apologize in advance because they are just as long as the other ones.
I feel like that's going to be a theme this week.
All right. Cruelty brought the orchids by Cradle of Filth. Hear me now. All crimes should be treasured if they bring thee pleasure somehow. Maleficent and dusky rose, gathered satin lapped her breasts like blood upon the snow. A tourniquet of topaz glistened at her throat. Also, what an elegant way of saying she was wearing a nice necklace. Like, a tourniquet of topaz glistened at her throat. The imagery is
Chef's kiss.
chef's kiss. Awakening pulled from the tomb, her spirit freed eclipsed the moon, that she outshone as a fallen star, a regal ornament from a far-flung nebular. Her likeness hung in the black gallery, commanding an ease, demanding of death to breathe. Midst the whirl and daylight fauna of society at court, Elizabeth bedazzled her presence and sought applause. Through her torchlit shadow thrown upon damp cellar walls, greeted nothing from despair from her slaves, her knights enthralled. 13 winter solstices had shown her path, that the dark had marked its dominion, spaying the confessor, whose caresses she'd known as whipcord in the house of dog, her cold cut meat on holy bone. Raped of faith, she now embraced the narcissistic unrest frozen on the mirror's face. With this disdain inside these veins, highborn wanton that she was, she sought to keep what age would claim. Her soul was sold, and for this toll, reeking pyres ever smolder on the whims of one so in control. Elizabeth, mysterious cruelty brought the orchids from the bowels of the abyss. Once upon atrocity, when mid-witches stifled cries, and carved abortive runes in reddened wombs, exhumed by crying eyes, madness came upon her like an amorous lover's seed. Lifeblood splashed upon her skin, and a gout torture unleashed. In gout torture unleashed. And to her dead reflection, 'twas if her pallor gleamed, like an angel's warmed by candles, where erotic stains had cleaved. So demons dragged this libertine, lust screaming for release, upon the flesh of maidens preened as canvas for caprice. Exacting obeisance, her gaze held a seance of spirits too trapped under glass to commune, a sleetier mistress than Luna, whose threats to consume her met with torments giving vent to her swoon. Flat on her back, pack prey for the reams of verses and curses that haunted her dreams. Mid-nightmare chimed 13 in her mind, a disciple of scars, branded years hissed behind. Ridden split-thighed by the father of lies, an ovation of wolves blushed in the skies as they writhed. But heaven is never forever. She came a spent storm from the clouds, leaving serpents in office inside every gate to lick righteous holes, blinding lords to the fate of virgins forced naked to defile on rent knees, hacked and racked backwards, minces choking their pleas. More, whore, more, twitching make me wet with the carcass, rub me raw. That is very colorful at the end.
Man.
What is the saying? They didn't mince any words. This is 1,000% about Elizabeth Bathory. She was a vile woman who thought she deserved more than everybody else.
That's fair. And then I can just see all the like what that true story inspired for all of the different like
I know, for
fables
so
and
many
stuff.
fairy tales and stuff. I mean, you
many.
have Sleeping Beauty.
Right.
You have even Snow White.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think who else wants to stay young. I don't know. I can't think of any others.
The one in the tower.
Rapunzel.
Yep.
Like they all, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, Elizabeth Bathory. You're watching the Disney Channel.
But honestly, like that, what you just read, like we've said in the last ones, like this is poetry, right? This is what I would expect to read. Like if you're gonna open up like a book of poems from whoever.
If Shakespeare was goth.
Yes.
That's like.
Yes. Definitely.
Because the cadence of the speaking, I know I said this in, I think, the last video we watched, like he doesn't speak in a traditional like pattern of speech, and so, or rather he doesn't sing his lyrics in a traditional pattern of speech, and so then reading the lyrics I stumble all over them because the cadence doesn't fit how I'm used to speaking at all, and like the way he condenses some of these words and phrases into such a short space in the song is mind-blowing, because I mean it took me almost 7 minutes to read the lyrics, you know, like.
Well, it's interesting though. So I feel like he has, so I mean, first off, he writes the poetry, right? Great poetry, great lyrics. And then he puts it to music the way he feels sonically makes sense for the music. Like not, like you said, there's not a particular cadence per each line, that sort of thing, but just what makes sense. That's why he switches back from like the growls to the screeches to the, you know, different things that he does. Because it makes sense for the song. It doesn't necessarily make sense to like read it that way, right?
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, it's almost as if it's sung not in English. Do you know what I mean? Like the way he stretches words or condenses words down.
Yeah.
It almost transforms them to a completely different language, at least for me.
Yeah. I would agree.
Anyway, this is 1,000% going on my playlist.
Yeah.
Like, no question.
Yeah.
I think if this was just like in the middle of your playlist, surrounded by some of the other bands that you traditionally listen to, I think you'd sit through the full 7 minutes.
I think so too. Yeah, I think so too. Because this goes right in with like the type of like deathcore that I really enjoy. Like the thrash metal that I listen to too. Like that. This all kind of.
When you even said that had like those like thrash metal vibes at the beginning.
Yeah.
So
definitely. All right.
Anyway, thank you so much for sticking around through this. If you have more information on how Cradle of Filth puts out their music, i.e., I guess in particular, I want to know like who is doing the vocals all the time. Is it always Danny? Unless it's like obviously a guest, right? Like then we know it's a guest. But besides that, is it always him? Like, are one of the other band members singing along? Like, I need to know. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you stuck around this long and you want to see more Cradle of Filth reactions, hit that subscribe button. This week will be full of Cradle of Filth. You can also follow us on our other social medias. We are on Twitter and Instagram, and he's on TikTok, and you should follow us there to see what else we're doing when we're not doing this podcast.
Yep.
And that's it. That's all.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.